Okay, it's Ray from Ray's Turquoise Turtle. Today I am just going to do a quick black-based wine tumbler with alcohol inks. This resin is very hot already, so we'll see how this goes. I left it sitting while I did two other projects quick, so I have about 20 mLs here. This is a 16-ounce wine tumbler, so it should be plenty. It's winter in New York, and I'm having a hard time adjusting to temperature and getting things to work properly when it comes to resin this last week or so. I'm either too cold to mix or too hot that it starts to set too fast. So it's been a little bit frustrating, to say the least. I've wasted a little bit of resin. I feel like I go through this every time the weather changes, but for some reason it's just particularly frustrating this year. Okay, so I think I have full coverage there. I don't want to heat this to start with, so I'm just going to let it spin because I don't want to introduce any more heat than I absolutely have to this one, just because I'm wiping my gloves off with a baby wipe real quick. I don't want to change them. So this one isn't going to be a rainbow. This one is going to get 2 shades of green. These ones are pixiss, kiwi, and pine. 2 shades of blue, pixiss, lake, and sapphire, and 2 shades of purple, which will be Tim Holtz Cool Berry and pixiss grape. And then I'm going to use my pinata white in its refill bottle. So I'm just going to go ahead and get these started. Open them all up. The pixiss package only had 1 purple, so that's why I went with a Tim Holtz for that. So I'm just going to start dripping on some color. I'm going to work like from the top and the bottom, I think. Just kind of work back and forth. I can see I have a void there, so I'm going to wait for that to come back around. I know it's hard for you to see at all where I put any ink, but I can kind of see it. With these darker colors, it's harder for me even, but all right, so now I'm going to go back in with the white, and that's when we'll be able to start seeing what we have. This turner's also turning the opposite direction I usually turn when I do these. So The bottoms of these wine tumblers are a little harder to get, but do make sure you pay attention to the bottom of your cup. I'm just going to kind of watch it spin a little bit and come back in with some more color dripped over wherever I think it's necessary. Just real quick. It doesn't all have to be like mad crazy color. I mean, like this sapphire really picked up good. This cool Perry is pretty dull. Light, not dull. It's a pretty color, it's just very light. So I think that's all I'm going to do for color. Let me get a little bit more of the purple up into the blue here. And I'm going to go ahead and hit this with some heat. I do want to take my gloves off because I don't want to get the buttons on my heat gun stuck down. So I'm just going to hit it with a low heat, low fan, not a ton. So this is a Furno 500. It has a bunch of heat settings and 2 fan settings. So I've got it on the low fan and mid-range for the heat. I don't really want it to move too much. Just going to try and push it a little bit. Hit the bottom. But I think that I am just going to let that be. I'm going to watch it for any void spots that open up, but I don't see any so far, which is nice. I usually get a couple on these tumblers. I do have one spot where I don't like what the white did down here, so I'm going to wait for that to come back around and put a drop of ink over that. Almost like it got a little dry piece of ink. I'm actually going to grab my glove and just blot at that, rather than put a glove back on to take care of it. There, and that'll smooth itself back out. So that is it. I will come back and show you later to see if anything's changed or different, but all this one will get is another clear coat across the top when it's done. And here she is all finished. She is cleaned and washed and ready for delivery. Dog hair. But that is how this one looked done. I hope you like it. I will be doing more of this type, I'm sure, because it's my favorite type of tumbler to do. So this particular cup, I only had a few of in stock. I'd ordered them from like Lakeside Trading or something a while ago. I do have a smaller wine tumbler coming from Maker Flow Crafts, so I will probably be doing something on one of those in the next week or so. So that is it. Cleaned, washed, ready to go.